Hola estudiantes, buenos días. Hoy es el día 30 de mayo y acabo de ver sus vídeos y leer los comentarios y realmente tengo que confesar, nunca he visto vídeos tan buenos. Realmente han hecho un trabajo fuera del mundo y yo disfruté mucho viendo los vídeos y leyendo estos comentarios. Y ¿qué les puedo decir? Les doy un aplauso, realmente bien hecho. Tornemos al calendario. Vemos que para el día 7 tenemos la única visita al Centro de Conversación en Español. Es para el día 7, hoy es el 30, hay tiempo todavía. So, as you know, your first visit, your only visit to the Spanish Conversation Center is due by midnight on the 7th. So the idea is you sign up for a 200 level, you have your session, and then afterwards you do a quick little write-up, 5 or 6 sentences in Spanish, describing your experience, if you learned anything new, and make sure that you give your TA's name and the date and the time you went to get full credit. So remember, that's coming up. You still have time to do it. I'm just reminding you. We also see that we have a new assignment. This is a discussion blog. You're going to have 2. This is your very first one. And se trata de El amor a primera vista y también poema 20. So follow the instructions carefully. Post your original discussion blog comment and your responses to 2 of your peers by the following deadline. So your original post is due on Tuesday the 4th of June by midnight, and then a couple days later your responses to 2 of your peers are due by midnight on Thursday the 6th. So keep in mind those important deadlines. Poema 20. In Lección 1 you discovered, probably for the first time, the poetry of Pablo Neruda, and you read one of his most famous poems, Poema 20. On page 31. For an alternative version, which adds visuals as well as music, watch the YouTube video below. So I would urge you to go ahead and before you write anything, I would watch this video. As always, I'm not sure if the audio is going to come up on my version of it, but when you click it on, you should be able to hear the version with its complete audio. And the audio is important because the nice thing about this particular video is it's in Spanish, but it gives English subtitles, and the soundtrack is just amazing. It takes you back to old California, and this is Neruda, and every time I've seen this, and I've seen it 50 times at least, I can't help but keeping the tears in. So you can see it's from the old silent film era, and some of you may recognize, because here it'll pivot a little bit in the middle. You get the middle part, and it'll pivot a little bit. That's when things start to heat up. Right, so you're transported to a type of bar, bordello, people having a good time. You may recognize Rudolph Valentino as the Gaucho, probably the most famous, along with Charlie Chaplin, of the Hollywood silent stars of the 20s. Italian immigrant, came from nothing, became a household name in the 20s. And here he is in his role as the Gaucho. And so you can see what happens. But again, just so that you see, you've got the narration.
Los versos más tristes esta noche.
And then the subtitles in English. So go ahead and consider this video. It's not that long, 7 minutes.
Escribir, por ejemplo,
and
la noche está estrellada
another thing you can do before you
y tira tan
start to address
azul.
these issues down here or address these questions is to revisit the video you saw in Lección
¿Cómo
1 in
no
Flash
haber
Cultura.
amado?
So here I've gone back to Lección 1, las relaciones personales, Flash Cultura, and you've seen this before, but let's try it again. So, las relaciones personales, and we'll crank it up, and for fun, I'll just give the English subtitles. And so this is all about when people get together in Madrid.
Jóvenes y mayores.
But at one point, he goes into this bar in El Barrio de la Latina, and he gets a couple people's stories. So he's starting to talk to this one couple
Hay tanta gente aquí.
about their
Todos quieren
relationship.
conversar. Tratemos de hablar con
And
algunos.
he asks them the question,
Y
¿Ustedes
contanos,
creen en el
vosotros
amor a
sois pareja,
primera vista?
¿verdad?
Do you believe in love at first
¿Desde hace
sight?
cuánto que sois pareja?
Pues 7 años.
Mucho tiempo ya, sí.
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 ¿Y qué tal os lleváis la relación? ¿Ningún problema en esos 7 años?
7
Hace un
años.
par de años pues tuvimos una pequeña crisis
Sí.
y estuvimos un año y pico sin hablarnos mucho, ¿no? Sin vernos por ahí. Y,
Bueno, sí.
Bueno, sobre todo por el tema de celos, ¿no? Yo
Los
creo que
celos,
es una cosa
jealousies.
que aquí nos afecta bastante.
Yo creo que siempre los celos son una parte importante de la relación, sobre todo cuando se está empezando y demás, que parece que no te lo puedes quitar de encima, ¿no?
¿Crees en el amor a primera vista?
Sí, estoy súper segura de que el amor
Sí,
a primera
está de
vista
acuerdo.
existe perfectamente.
Hay amor a primera vista, pero yo creo que las cosas tienen que ser más organizadas.
Yo sí que creo en el amor a primera vista
también?
Creo en todo tipo de amores, con lo cual el amor a primera vista es uno de ellos y...
Sí.
Sí.
¿Fue amor a primera vista?
No fue a primera vista, fue...
Fue a la segunda, ¿verdad?
A la segunda vista.
¿Crees en el amor a primera vista?
Yo no. Yo creo que el amor a primera vista es imposible.
Negativa.
Te puede gustar una persona o te puede atraer, pero amarla, para amar a alguien hay que conocerlo.
¿Crees en el amor a primera vista?
No.
Tampoco.
A primera vista te gusta uno en una discoteca, pero...
Pero no es amor.
No.
Oh. So, after watching the video from Lección 1, Flash Cultura, las relaciones personales, as well as Poema 20, then you're ready to address the questions below. So, again, you're writing entirely in Spanish, and before you post your response to Canvas, make sure to include an embedded image. If you don't know how to embed an image, see the tutorial in the how-to folder in the student resources in Canvas. Embedded just means that it shows up right here on the page. You want to grab your viewer's attention. So if it's a link, it's not going to have the same effect. So it should be embedded just like we have right here. And this image somehow tries to capture your idea of what love means to you. And your entire written response should be from about 7 to 10 complete sentences. So here are your questions in Spanish, and again, your responses are in Spanish. Número 1. ¿Crees en el amor a primera vista? ¿Por qué sí? ¿Por qué no? Explica. ¿Tienes algunos ejemplos o contraejemplos? Do you believe in love at first sight? Why or why not? Explain your position. Do you have any examples to support your opinion or counterexamples? And don't forget, you've got part number 2. En Poema 20, el poeta escribe este verso. Es tan corto el amor y es tan largo el olvido. Explica con tus propias palabras lo que significa este verso para ti. So, in Poema 20, Neruda writes at the very end, love is so short, but forgetting is so long. Explain in your own words what this verse means for you. It's your interpretation. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. But think about it. What does that mean as far as you're concerned? So you've got 1 and 2 plus an embedded image. So this is what we've got going for our discussion blog, number 1. And again, your original is due on the 4th by midnight, and your comments to 2 of your peers are due a couple of days later. You've got a chance to look at them, but they should be posted by midnight on the 6th.